Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome back to Ranking the Franchise. Now, this is a franchise I've wanted to rank for a really long time, and I just got done marathoning them about a week ago. I kind of wrote down my thoughts and which ones I like the best and the least for Phantasm. Now, this is what I marathoned. I marathoned the Phantasm Collection on Blu-ray 1 through 5, watched them consecutively between a day and a half, and here are my thoughts. I'm going to use individual DVDs and Blu-rays so I don't have to go into this box and lay all the Blu-rays out individually on the mat. Just kind of seems kind of silly to me. So, let me start out by saying that this is just my opinion and how I see the films, and this is going to be really hard for me because this is the first time I've ever marathoned the films in a row. I've seen the movies a number of times. Individually, if I just feel like putting one on, I'll put it on. But it took on a different meaning for me to marathon them consecutively. This is all one big story, and you really can't have the entire story without having all the parts, which, of course, that's common sense, but I'm going to go from my least favorite to my favorite. Bear in mind that I love all these films, and I think they are all necessary. It's just watching them separately. This is my least to my favorite, so yeah. All right, coming in last is Phantasm Oblivion. Now, I love this movie. I think it's great. It is slow, but it does have a lot of story to it, and you get to learn a lot about the tall man. So it's definitely necessary for the entire franchise, and I guess I'm putting it last because it is kind of slow. So yeah, that's Phantasm Oblivion coming in last. And since I marathon these films, a lot has changed for me in how I see these films. Okay, coming up next is Phantasm 2. I know a lot of people will probably say, this is my favorite one, or this is my second favorite one. Well, this used to be my least favorite one, but somehow I got over the fact of James LaGrosse playing Michael. And it's taken me a long time to get over the fact that they didn't cast A. Michael Baldwin as Mike. But this movie's a lot of fun, and it's pretty well paced. So that is Phantasm 2. Coming up next would have been one of my least favorites, and that is Phantasm Ravager. After marathoning the films, this movie is one of the saddest films I think I've ever seen. Not only is it the end of the franchise, but in light of what's happened with Reggie Bannister, it's a hard watch. This is my third or fourth time watching this, and on an individual basis, it was one of my least favorite. But as far as wrapping up the story and what the director had to say in this, I thought he did the franchise incredible justice with this. So yeah. Phantasm Ravager coming in third place. Coming up next is Phantasm 3. This movie pretty much has it all. It has the fun aspect. It has the most story, in my opinion. It's telling Reggie's story, and it's just a ton of fun. This is pretty close to being my favorite one as far as a standalone film, because I got more out of this than I probably did any of the other films besides the first one. Which leads me to number one. Will always be my favorite. It doesn't matter what the story provides or where the story might have went, but is the original Phantasm. This is my very first purchase of Phantasm on DVD. I do have the Anchor Bay and the Blu-ray, the remastered Blu-ray, but this has always meant a lot to me, even though the picture is kind of cropped. Being the MGM title, it still means a lot to me because I bought this the first day it came out, and I've always loved Phantasm. I got to see it on the big screen a couple years ago around Halloween, and it was one of my best experiences. So, yeah. Phantasm is amazing. And to be honest, it is now my favorite franchise. It was always Friday the 13th, but after marathoning these movies, finally, I just think the story is incredible. And you don't get the story from watching 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 by itself or whatever, like I used to do. The only time I marathoned this series is I marathoned 1 through 3 when 3 came out, and the way it ended, you knew there was going to be a part 4. So I finally got the chance to marathon all 5, and it's just a incredible horror sci-fi story. So that's it. If you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.